This Halloween, our federal government seems to want to give out tricks rather than treats. Hi, I'm Scott Jacobs with Jacobs & Company Real Estate, and I want to talk to you about something in the Build Back Better plan that better get your attention, and that is unrealized capital gains. What is a capital gain? Okay, guys, you sell a property, any piece of property, your primary residence, an investment property, it could be a piece of land, it could be a house, it could be an industrial warehouse, doesn't matter. You bought that asset for one number. You end up exiting, whether that was a year later or 10 years later or 20 years later. The idea about buying real estate, right, is that over time, the value of the property increases. So if you bought that asset, say, no matter what it was, for $500,000, 5 years later, the property value increased, right? Say $100,000 to $200,000. Depending upon your tax bracket, right, large in part will depend upon what taxes you will pay. Also, how long you have held the property. Short-term capital gains, for example, might be as much as 40% plus state taxes. You circumvent 1 year, 1 day, now you're talking long-term capital gains, and you might be looking at about half that number. Those are things that are very consistent, right, that we've always seen and dealt with in the real estate industry, but unrealized capital gains is a game changer. Once again, this is something that this federal government seems to be pushing for, so imagine, if you will, with me for a moment. The family farm, it's been passed down from generations. All of a sudden, now the federal government views the new value of that farm, not the value of, say, when the property and the farm was essentially acquired 10, 20, 100 years ago. They look at the new value of the farm today, let's just say $10 million. Nobody that's working on the farm has, taxes to cover, that unrealized capital gain of what they perceive the new value of the farm to be. So what does that mean? It would leave those family members with the burden of having to actually either refinance or finance that farm just in order to pay the taxes. Once again, we're all accustomed to paying taxes, and typically, those are taxes that we pay whenever a property would sell, right? Not, the unrealized capital gain while you currently own a property. So, that's an example for a farm. Just imagine, if you will, unfortunately, parents would pass away and will a property to, to their children. It's not what the property was bought for then or what the property would sell for. It's whatever the unrealized capital gain is perceived by a local municipality, the state, and therefore the federal government, and then tax you on that. It would undoubtedly place an onerous burden upon family members in such a manner that you would literally be forced to sell or do things that you didn't want to do, like finance a property or go through the rigorous process of refinancing a property just so that you can cover your tax bill. This Build Back Better plan, this is not a political post. I don't care, Republican, Democrat, Independent, hey, I'm here to talk to you about real estate and the impacts of some of the decisions that are being made in Washington, right down the street. We're in Northern Virginia, that could really have a negative impact on the real estate industry as a whole. Because if this happens, guys, we're going to see distressed sellers. People might be just making ends meet. Could you imagine those retired individuals who are just getting by on Social Security or the bare minimum to have to actually come out of pocket to foot a large tax bill on an unrealized capital gain? This could be a potential game changer. I always want to be a resource for you and just kind of let you know what's going on in the market, but obviously this would have an impact over the entire nation. If you ever have any questions, feel free to call us, any one of our amazing agents here at Jacobs & Company at 703 area code 594-3800. We would love to talk to you about this topic and or any of your other real estate needs. Thank you so much.